Hi, you're listening to She Shield, your one-stop pod for all topics personal safety. I'm your host, Sophia, and my goals help educate women and men on concealed carry, martial arts, and all topics self-defense. This episode is sponsored by Big Tex Ordnance, your soon-to-be favorite retailer for all of your firearms needs. BTO believes in only selling high-quality gear for responsibly armed citizens, as well as providing pre- and post-sale support. BTO values firearms training and supports firearms instructors nationwide. They even pay for their own staff to train with high-level instructors to ensure that when you as a consumer reach out, you are taken care of. Today, I'm so excited. This is the special edition Valentine's episode with my best friend in the whole world, Lisa Hamilton. So Lisa, for those that do not know you, firstly, I'd be surprised. You're on a lot of episodes. But for those that do not know you, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, friends. I am Lisa, Sophia's best friend in the world. She just said it. I'm also a firearms instructor, a novice shooting competitor. I am a occupational therapy doctorate student. You always get mad at me when I forget to mention that one. What else do I do?
Competitive shooter, USPSA.
Yeah. Novice, USPSAer, esteemed C class. I am at Shoot with Lisa on Instagram. I really like to post concealed carry outfits and talk about guns and all that good stuff. And that's about it.
Yes. And as of today, we are official Galentines because Lisa proposed to me in the form of a cactus. So I humbly accepted. She's yet to get her gift from me, but that is what inspired today's episode topic. We actually were originally going to discuss something else today, but she was like, hey, you have a package on your door. And I was like, no way. So I went to open it and I was like, oh my God, I know what we're talking about on today's episode. So if you're still like, what the hell are you talking about?
This is important.
Exactly. We are talking about what to get your partner for Valentine's Day, self-defense edition, plus some. So we have a little extra we're going to give you at the end, some tips because we care. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started today. So excited.
For the love doctors.
Exactly. And before we start, Lisa, do you think that it's important for people to ask their partners to be their Valentine?
Yes, I do. And just because I know the demographics of the people that tend to watch a lot of gun content or listen to gun podcasts, it is a lot of men. So for all you men out there, if you don't think that you need to ask your partner to be your Valentine, you do. Unless she's explicitly told you not to.
Correct.
Even if you've been together a really long time, you still gotta do it. It's just one of those things. So that's your first tip of the day.
Yes, and that one is
ask your
free.
Partner to be your Valentine.
I'm kidding, they're all free, but
that's a free tip.
Completely agree with you, Lisa. So my beautiful husband asked me to be his Valentine by getting us a VR headset. And I sent Lisa a picture of this, so she already knows this, but for the listener, a VR headset. And then on a sticky note, he wrote, because you enhance my reality, will you be my Valentine? So, yeah, I've got it pretty good between my husband and my best friend here.
And I knew that Sophia would be my Galentine.
Yes.
But I still
asked.
Got her a cactus and asked because she loves cacti. And she deserves it.
And you got me some...
Oh, and shower steamers.
Shower steamers, exactly. I was about to say bath bombs. So no, these are specifically shower steamers. And they're au natural, very natural ingredients, like I love. I remember the first time I told Lisa that I wanted cacti or succulents instead of flowers because I'm an asthmatic and a lot of scents, especially natural scents like flowers, are hard on my lungs. And this bitch wrote this down in her phone the second I said it. I was like, firstly, in my head, I was like, what is she doing? Like, she's texting while I'm telling her something really, intimate. Not really. I wasn't really upset. But next thing I know, she's like kind of giggling and I'm like, she just wrote that down. And that's why she remembered. So, and it encouraged me to do that for your birthday. I wrote down your favorite flowers and I'm so glad I did because by the time your birthday came, I was like panicking that I wasn't going to get it right, but I'd written it down. So take a note from Lisa. If your girl mentions or boy mentions like, hey, I love this one thing, don't be afraid to write it down. Like we're human. We all forget. And there's so much pressure around this time of year. There's nothing wrong with having an ongoing note of the things that your partner or friends or family members love. So that by the time you have to pick something out, you have it. So pretty nifty.
So
Lisa.
True. That is such a good point. It makes your life so much easier. Anytime they mention a little thing, maybe I'll go to Target. I love Target.
Let me just write that down.
Yeah. Loves Target.
Oh.
Maybe you're just perusing the Target and she glances at something a little longer than normal or seems interested in something. Just take a little note of it.
Take a note.
Just write it down. It takes about 30 seconds. We're all glued to our phones these days. I know you got it on you. I know it's easy to pull it out. Just type yourself a little note and you'll be so thankful at Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthday, whatever, even just a random surprise. You'll have a whole list
the just because
of
gifts.
things that will make great gifts.
Yes, those just because gifts hit so different. When Caleb and I first started dating, he would leave little scavenger hunts. Scavenger hunts? Is that the right word? That's a thing. I start doubting myself when I know I'm recorded around the house with like just little things that I loved. When he knew I had a hard day, especially as pre-med, I was chronically stressed, still am sometimes. And he will leave that spread out through the house and I have to go find them. And it just breaks up your monotony in the day. So take those notes and let's dive into this special edition of What to Buy Your Significant Other Self-Defense Edition.
And self-defense edition.
And some.
And even on that note of just because gifts and the little things, the things you get your significant other for Valentine's Day don't have to be expensive. I'll start us off, if you don't mind,
Please.
With some of the really cheap, inexpensive, and maybe even free options. This is self-defense edition, and it can be stressful being a woman. It's a scary world out there. And you know what happens when we're stressed out? Tension. If your girl enjoys massages,
Yes.
massages, and you don't want to purchase a massage, give her a nice shoulder rub.
Exactly.
Women don't like to ask for shoulder rubs, but most of them I feel like their shoulders rubbed. That's something that's free, lets you know you're thinking about her and care.
Agreed. It does not have to be expensive. Another way you can do that, before we jump into self-defense, run her a bath. First of all, clean that nasty tub of yours. Clean it with dish soap and a sponge and rinse, repeat. All right? Clean that tub. Put a little pillow, or hopefully not like a couch pillow, but you can buy pillows for tubs, or just roll up a good little towel right there. Put it where her neck would go. Okay. Run the bath water to make it super hot at first, because by the time she gets in, it may be kind of lukewarm and she can kind of adjust. No one likes a cold bath. It's really awkward. Add some soaps, maybe get some Epsom salt from Walmart. Add her favorite snack, her favorite candy, her favorite drink, and then shut the door and leave her alone and let her enjoy that bath, him or her. I do this for Caleb sometimes, and he does it for me at the end of a long day. And it is so nice to just come home again and break that monotony. So,
and don't pretend you don't like to be pampered too.
Please.
We know you deserve baths
100%.
also.
Exactly.
Yeah. Being a self-defense person, It's stressful.
It's super stressful because you're like aware stressful. Of how dangerous the world is. So speaking of self-defense, let's dive in. I know you guys are waiting for it. So let's start this conversation out with the big question, because I actually got interrupted at the gym last year it was like a week before Valentine's Day, and totally fine. It was for a good reason. This guy was like, "Hey, I think I follow you. Are you fit for FIA?" And I was like, "Yes, you literally just made my day. What's up?" He was like, "My girlfriend wants to get into shooting, so I have the green light, but I don't know if it's appropriate for me to just buy her first concealed carry gun." And it kind of took me back. I was like, dang, I had to think about it for a second. And he gave me some time to think, and I ultimately came up with, what do you think, Lisa?
Well, bestie girl, as someone who has worked in a gun store, I was the manager at a gun range for a few years, and while I love the thought behind my girl wants to get into firearms training, guns are expensive, so I want to be a great, amazing human and buy him or her a gun. Love the thought behind that. However, where the issue lies is in the execution. I can't tell you how many men we had come in to buy guns for their women. I didn't have a lot of women buying guns for their men, so I'm saying specifically men buy guns for their women that were girl guns, that were either super subcompact 380 or a little snub-nosed revolver, sometimes pink ones, just colorful little subcompact pistols. And while they are adorable, they are not always super pleasant to shoot and not always the most ideal firearm for concealed carry. Additionally, sometimes women would come, since I teach a lot of women's only classes and curriculum, I can't tell you how many women I've had come with, "Oh, this is a gun that my boyfriend, husband, spouse, whomever purchased for me." We get out there to try it, and they absolutely hate it. And that is not what we want to happen, especially because firearms are not usually refundable, and it is a big ticket item. So you want to make sure if you're spending that money, that you're spending it wisely and on something that is A, good quality, and B, appropriate for him or her and that you like to shoot.
Absolutely. Emphasis on, of course, quality, but also on liking to shoot it. I've heard a lot of women say, "I tried shooting, I didn't like it." And it's like, oof, yikes, because either A, the environment was bad, people are flagging you, you're in a loud environment that you can't hear your instructor in, there are a lot of things that can contribute to that. But to not like an experience because the tool is not very enjoyable because you didn't give them the chance to pick it out is unfortunate, right? And to find a solution to this, something that we've talked about before, when it comes to picking out your first concealed carry weapon, is to go to a local range where they allow you to rent their firearms, buy 50 to 100 rounds of ammo, depending on the variety of guns you choose. If you want to stick to 380, 9mm, just kind of buy maybe 50 rounds by 50 rounds as you kind of move between the calibers. Let her actually pick a few out, maybe suggest a few, look at what other women are shooting, some reliable influencers are shooting, make a list, and then give her the opportunity to feel everything and actually pick it out for herself. And that kind of brings us to the next topic, and that is actually training. It looks like you had something to say.
Oh my gosh, you
oh my god,
so
yes,
well.
Of course I do. Please. I didn't mean to move on too fast.
I was completely agreeing with everything you said, especially how you not only said, let her pick it out, but specifically let her go try it and shoot it and pick it out. Because I will tell you, I know much more now. Still nothing. I literally still know nothing in the grand scheme of the firearms world. However, I used to know even more nothing. Way back when I went to pick out my first firearm, and I walked in the store being a stereotypical woman and was like, oh my gosh, that one is so cute and adorable. I want that one. It's so cute and little and pretty. It was stainless steel with the pretty wooden grips, just... Anyway, picked it out because it was adorable and then went to shoot it and hated it. So yes, let her pick it out, but also encourage her to try it first, please.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm glad that you are able to share your experience now. I'm sorry that you didn't have more direction. I know that the first gun I ever shot was a Glock 19. I knew that was a little chunky for me, and luckily someone was just like, go to the Glock 43X then. If you like everything about the 19, but essentially that you want a slimmer profile, a little bit smaller, go to the Glock 43X. It'll still fit your hand, still a decent mag capacity, and it was a great first gun. I still carry it to this day, but not everyone has that luck in the beginning per se. And it's also okay if she likes it for a little bit and then decides she wants something different. We know that firearms are expensive, but that first experience is so important. It's like initial impressions in general. His initial impression with shooting is going to make a difference. I know that I'm the reason my husband was introduced to pistol shooting. He'd done hunting in the past, but because of me, we went and purchased his Glock 43X together. He wanted the same gun as I did because he had some experience with it and felt comfortable with it, and that kind of shaped his decision. So just know that we are so lucky to have an impact on our partners, but we can choose kind of how it plays out a little bit and make informed decisions. And hopefully this episode is helping with that. So now, no. Go ahead. Tell me.
You just reminded me, okay. And I know we've spoken about it on this podcast before. Yeah. The golden rule of firearms training. It just hit me when you said, we're so lucky that we can shape our partners. We are so lucky that we can shape our partners. However, the golden rule of firearms training, not everyone agrees with this. It can be a touchy subject. But at the range I worked for, we always said, if you share DNA or saliva with the person, hopefully not both, that you should not be teaching them how to shoot a firearm.
Totally
Little
fair.
Pointers here and there, that's great. But it's always best to kind of offload that responsibility onto a reputable and good quality firearms instructor that is an objective third party and not someone in the relationship, or if it's a sibling or whomever.
Absolutely.
It's just better this way.
Yes. And on that point, when it comes to teaching your partner, I have a personal experience with not being the best partner I could have been in the past. I remember telling Caleb one time, like, if you're not ready to carry with one in the chamber, don't carry. And that was just not a good extreme view to throw at him, especially at the time, because I'm same as you, Lisa. There's so much I don't know, and I knew even less then. And to kind of just like, I feel like that threw almost a little bit of a wrench in his learning, because he was kind of like, oh, okay, well then like I can't do anything right now. And also, why deny someone the opportunity to protect themselves if that's the only way they would protect themselves? There's just a lot of nuances there that I did not know to talk about. And I was not the best person to tell him anything of the sort, especially at the time I told him. So it's definitely been a big reflection for me as an individual. I've made mistakes. I've also seen a lot of those mistakes. I mean, I was at my gym the other day and this girl and I were talking and she was like, oh, can I show you my fanny pack? And I don't know if I told you this, Lisa. I don't know if I told you this story.
You did.
I did? Okay, yeah, of course I did. We talk all the time. So
you called me immediately and was like,
oh yeah, okay. So she opens her fanny pack, and no disrespect to this woman. She is like, her story was awesome. She is trying to be the protector in her family when she's out and not with her husband. I admire her for that. There's nothing wrong with her. But she shows me this gun. It's not secured properly in her fanny pack. The fanny pack zippers are kind of janky. There's really no way for her to like really have a big pull access tab. And if you're interested in more fanny pack nuances, check out my YouTube video on that. But in the meantime,
it's really good.
For the story, thank you. For the story purposes, there were just some things that were not safe about the way she carried. This was a perfect scenario where like, I was like, hey, are you open to some feedback? And she was like, yes. I gave her some feedback and I could tell she felt really, I could tell she was being super receptive to it. And when I asked her, like, what training have you had? She was like, well, my husband has just shown me everything and he's just happy I have a gun on me. And it's like, of course he is. Of course he's happy that you have a gun on you, that if someone were to come up to you, you have some tool to protect yourself. But the nuances of like safety in a fanny pack, in a form of off-body carry, that's not something he was raised and being taught about. Like, he did not know to sit down with you and say, hey, I love that you're carrying in a fanny pack. Let's look at how you're doing that and let's make sure it's super safe. Don't get me wrong. She wasn't carrying one in the chamber. And for her setup, that was the best thing she could do. So I was happy to hear that she at least was doing that. But there were a lot of things that could have still been safer. So at the end of the day, if you look at a scenario like that, that's someone who happened to run into a female firearms instructor that has tested fanny pack and done a whole series on it and really, really reflected on it. And her only background before that was her husband and her shooting on their acreage, on their personal acreage. So those are just a few examples of when your instructor is your partner, how that can maybe not be the best route to learning. And I know I'm rambling at this point, but a lot of that is because it wasn't until I started writing my own curriculum, and Lisa, let me know if like this is similar for you, but until I started writing my own curriculum, which Lisa helped me with a lot actually, and I started actually formatting it to where we start with safety and we start with, how to handle malfunctions, and then we move into more like technical skill-based topics. It wasn't until I started like writing this down and had to think about the order in which someone is taught this that I actually realized how important safety was. So to think of all of the people that I helped before that I didn't have like, don't get me wrong, we went over safety, but not in the extent that I can in like a 3-hour class. Same thing with Caleb when we would be at the range. I didn't stand there and go over safety for 30 minutes like I should have. So when you send your partner out into the world and all they know is just the stuff minus safety, minus malfunction clearing, and I'm talking about those scenarios where this is the case. You might be an incredible partner. You may be an instructor. You may have experience teaching people and you may go over safety, malfunctions and all of that. And you may have an incredible relationship with your partner and that's just how you guys work. And that's incredible. We're not trying to say you can't ever do that. This is just the side of reality that I don't think a lot of people know until they realize they don't know. You know what I mean? What do you think, Lisa?
100%. I completely agree with that. And even if you are a reputable firearms instructor and you maybe want to teach your partner how to shoot, give them some tips, sure. But you can also send them to another instructor as well, because sometimes when we're listening to our partner, our ear holes just don't work as well as they normally do.
Yes.
It's just a true fact. Sometimes, your partner will tell you maybe, I don't know, what's a super basic, like, firearm, like always keep your finger off the trigger until you're on target and have decided to fire. And then a different instructor might tell them that exact same thing and they'll be like, wow, that's the first time I've ever heard this. I've never heard this before. What a great piece of information. You're like, I've told you that 1,000 times. Sometimes the ear holes just they just don't work as well when I'm listening to our significant other.
I know.
I don't know why. It's a phenomenon.
I know that when I'm in CrossFit and Caleb explains a form to me, there's just something about him and CrossFit. Like, he's so attractive to me, and I genuinely don't hear what he's saying to me when he explains stuff like that.
You're just like...
So, like, if he were teaching me gun stuff, out the window, dudes. Like, I would not hear him say anything if he was, like, holding a gun. You said
it's attractive to you? See, it's funny, because I love that point, because I'm not trying to be all bratty, like, we don't listen to our men, blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, sometimes I totally agree with that. Like, certified lover girl here, like, sometimes you're just hard eyes, like, looking at your partner and, like, you're like, wow. And they're telling you really important things and you're just like,
yep. I heard that.
So pretty. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I do it with you sometimes, so it makes sense.
I know, I do it with you, too. We'll be on FaceTime, and she'll be like, wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, exactly.
Just too busy gazing in your eyes.
Which, if you don't do that with your best friend, what are you doing? Just kidding. It's normal to have, like, a slight crush on your best friend. It's normal. We're normal. This is perfectly healthy. Caleb's over here editing this audio, like, right, what the hell? No, I'm just kidding. He's supportive. We love a supportive man. Anyway, all that to say, do yourself the favor of booking a class either for your significant other or for both of you together. That could be so much fun, where the responsibility is handed off to a licensed instructor and you also get to learn. And then if she needs your help, bam, you're there for it. I had a woman come for a one-on-one with me in January. Her husband gifted her a one-on-one course with me because he follows me on Instagram for her Christmas gift. And she and I had a great time. And before that, her only experience was with him, and there were a lot of holes in her knowledge. And she recognized that. It wasn't really hard to recognize. And it was a great time. She had a great time. I haven't seen her back, but we've messaged a few times since, some questions she's had, and it was lovely. It was good. We need more of that. So whether that's with Lisa or me, or we have a few other instructors we'll talk about today, but
I was going to say, on that topic, do you have any instructors that you recommend?
Yes, I actually do. Starting
other
off,
than us, of course, shameless plug, if you're in the West/Middle Tennessee area, I'm your girlie.
Yes, 100%.
And if you're in the
Northwest Arkansas area.
Northwest Arkansas?
Yes, 100%.
I was like, what part of Arkansas?
Right.
Arkansas is...
Well, you just sent me a gift, so I know you know my address, but you can't say that. So yes, Northwest Arkansas. Yes, exactly. So some instructors I recommend just off the bat. I'll start, and then Lisa and I can kind of go back and forth. But the first one I would love to mention, female, just queen of a woman, Tatiana Whitlock. She's part of the Walther Defense Team. She teaches both in person and online. So if you're someone who's not local to her, which we are going to link every resource we mentioned today in the show notes below, which are the notes below the title, click on the link, see where she's at, and see if you can get a class with her. She travels, but in the meantime, if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with her for a concealed carry course, I know she does also offer online courses last I checked. And then a male instructor that I definitely recommend that I'm going to take a course with soon, is Riley Bowman. And if you are like, oh, you haven't taken a class with him yet, well, I can say I attended the Guardian Conference 2023. It was an incredible experience. It's put on by concealedcarry.com, Mountain Man Medical, and a few other brands under concealedcarry.com by Riley and Jacob, the owners of concealedcarry.com. And I can say Riley is an incredibly vetted instructor. He is now a shooter for HK, and of all the men in the industry, he is top tier, guys. So top tier. So those are my two first recommendations. We have several more today, but Lisa, do you have any people you recommend in the industry?
Well, first off, I'm going to give my resounding second on both of those. Like, yes, I completely agree. Stamp of approval.
Yes, because you've taken from Tatiana, yeah?
I have. I've taken 2
Both
classes with Tatiana in person, and she is wonderful. Actually, fun story, when I graduated undergrad and started graduate school, I had one singular day off. I graduated on don't quote me on this. Oh yeah, I graduated on a Saturday and I started grad school on a Monday, like that following Monday. And on that Sunday, in between the two, I was like, what better to spend my whole day doing than taking I don't remember how long it was. It was all day. It was like 5 to 8 hours of a Tatiana Whitlock course. I was like, what else would I do with my one day of summer other than spend the whole day learning from Tatiana Whitlock? So that is what I did on my singular day off in between undergrad and grad school as a graduation gift for myself. So
perfect.
She's lovely.
She is.
Wonderful lady. Knows her stuff. We gotta shout out the women.
Yes.
And Riley, I have not yet taken a class from, but we have, her and I, Sophia and me, we have him on our agenda for this 2024 season.
Yes.
So, stand-up guy, knows his stuff.
Yes.
But there's a lot of amazing instructors. You've trained with Craig Douglas, haven't you?
Yes.
He's on my list as well of people that I want to train with. I've been dying to take one of his courses, but as somebody who's already taken one, I would love to hear what you think.
Absolutely. So I've actually had some men inquire about this class for their wives, like to go as a couple. And to those men, I applaud you. Couldn't be a better couple bonding experience to go into a Thunderdome by Craig Douglas in the simulation with the helmets on, having to grapple with other men and women. Incredible experience for the tactical side of things, for contextual based training in that 0 to 5 foot distance range where a lot of fights do happen. You have to ask yourself, just to kind of back up a little bit from this, and this is very much inspired from my talk with Matt Little today. That will be the episode that releases the week after this episode, so get ready for that. That was an incredible conversation on training philosophy and how to prioritize your training. And Matt just talks about how it's so easy to get wrapped up in just only the skill side of things. So just getting really, really good at a bill drill and then only training the tactical side and not knowing really much about gun handling and shooting skill. And we talk about the importance of both and kind of how to train both. So definitely check that episode out when it comes out. But all of that to say, Craig Douglas, ECQC, any of the courses in the ShivWorks collective really, from what I understand, will be more of the tactical side. If your partner is starting out holding a gun, get them a basic pistol course. Let's be clear. That would be something with Tatiana Whitlock, Matt Little that I just mentioned, the Graybeard actual. He has a basic pistol course with his wife, Angela Little, and, total transparency, I have not taken a class with them, but guys, just go listen to that episode. I promise you'll want to take a class with him after, and I'm heading there in April, 99% sure, I need to confirm this, to take a class with him and his lovely wife. So, their philosophy is incredible. They have kind of like a basic class that Angela teaches. She has an all women's option. And then the next day is more concealed carry, contextual training from what I understand with Matt and Angela there to supplement for those who don't have as much experience. So that duo is incredibly unique, and I know I haven't shot it yet, so I can't, of course, 100%, recommend it in that sense. But like I said, go listen to that episode. You will see exactly what I mean. But yeah, think about what the priority is. Are they learning to hold a pistol? If so, let's go basic pistol. Let's go one-on-one. If you can afford it, I know it's a little bit pricier for a little bit less time, or get them a spot in a class, or go with them to a class or to a one-on-one. Anything else you want to add to that, Lisa?
I think you summarized that perfectly. Those are all fantastic options, especially being cognizant of where your partner is in their training journey, I know this one girl, we're Instagram friends, and I know that her husband pays for a lot of her training, and she's at the really advanced training level now, and he's buying her pretty advanced training level classes. But please don't send your partner to an advanced level training class if they have never picked up a gun before. Because like you said earlier, with that kind of first impression, starting off uncomfortable, if you dive right into something like that and you feel uncomfortable and out of place and like you don't have a solid foundation of the basics and fundamentals and safety and all of that ahead of time, it can be a bad first experience. So it's always good to kind of work your way up that training continuum. And I think all those suggestions were really, really great.
Awesome. Yes. And I completely agree with you. That first impression thing comes back strong. Another individual I want to make sure I say, and I'll probably think of a few more as we go on, is Chuck Haggard.
Think of so many more. I was like, this is so much pressure.
I know it is.
If I've in the industry that
man, for real, if I've forgotten anyone at this point, I'm so sorry. Not intentional.
I'll start like commenting on this video.
Yes.
Also I love.
Yes. And we'll probably add some more to the show notes. So be sure to check that out. One thing about this industry, it's super small, but it's also quite expansive. And as Lisa and I have both gotten into it more, because I feel like we started in roughly around the same time.
What did you say in one of your episodes recently? You're like, I feel like I'm just dipping my toe in the kiddie pool of the industry. I was like,
oh my God,
honestly,
did I say that?
That is
yes.
Such a funny way of putting it.
I do remember that now. Yep, exactly. It's exactly what it feels like. While it is really small, it's also expansive. And I didn't know where the heck to start. I mean, a friend recommended Craig Douglas. That's how I learned about him. That was the only way. And she wanted to attend a class, and I actually ended up having the opportunity to go, which I felt so bad. You know, I was like on the phone with her every day of that course to like fill her in because I wish she was there. But I just it was happenstance that I learned about him, and his class changed my, like the full trajectory of my, my journey in this community. So it is about knowing, like having resources to find good courses. So back to what I was saying, Chuck Haggard, he teaches, basic pistol, but he also teaches pepper spray usage and managing unknown contacts, which I talk about this a lot on the podcast. Am I technically certified in it yet? Absolutely not. But it is so important. I want to make sure to share it. Managing unknown contacts is that management of unknown people that come into your space and maybe seem a little off. Maybe they're giving off a pre-assault cue. They're giving you just bad vibes. And then how to keep them away from you, how to de-escalate, or if you need to take that preemptive first strike to gain that advantage. And all of that is contextual, of course. And that is why it is so important to learn the basics, the foundations, and start training it in context. And that is what Chuck Haggard and the instructors of the ShivWorks Collective, like I mentioned earlier with Craig Douglas, do for you. And if you're like training with pepper spray, that's stupid, then keep listening and go back and listen to the episode with Chuck Haggard, because there's absolutely training with pepper spray. That's why they sell inert bottles of pepper spray for you to train with. There is a better way to do it. Of course, it's pretty simple of the point and shoot, but so are guns, right? So that's why we have training, to teach us how to efficiently use something when it matters, because you don't have time to think. When someone is rushing you, you want to be able to rely on your training, just like with firearms. So all that to say, Chuck Haggard is a great resource. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was saying completely 100%. And also, in addition to how efficiently to use pepper spray, even how to efficiently carry it and store it. If you think about your girl right now and her purse, and it might be a neat little purse, but I know a lot of women that have a black hole of a purse.
Yeah, like the Hermione from Harry Potter, her bag and
spray loose in this giant bag.
Exactly.
And trying to, like, sure, you have it, but can you actually access it when you're needing to use it? It's like, I have, asthma. I am an asthmatic. I have a rescue inhaler that is supposed to save my life when I start having an asthma attack. I need to quickly find my rescue inhaler and use it to not have an asthma attack and die. Well, sometimes I just, I'm like, oh, I have this with me in case I ever need it, but it's in like the bottom of a random pocket in my backpack, and I'll be sitting there like wheezing and dying, and I can't find my inhaler. It's just like that. Like, just because you have it somewhere in your something that you're carrying with you does not mean you're going to be able to access it in a timely manner for it to actually be useful. So train with your pepper spray.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. And if you've ever just had someone like bum rush you, just like have someone just run at you, like the fact that they're just coming your way in general is so much to process. I know that I've frozen in these context-based training. I've like had to stop and think, and I've thought like if this thing wasn't already in my hand, I would be screwed. So think about that. Think about buying her own palm pepper spray unit with a training inert unit. I know they sell the two together on the POM website. So check that out. And there are some incredible YouTube videos as well to kind of go over how to find a good pepper spray unit, and it will make you appreciate the brand Palm specifically.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sophia, darling, why are you saying specifically Palm pepper spray? What about all those really cute pink or bedazzled pepper spray options that I see out there? I think my girl might really like those. They're so cute.
Right. Wrong. So, unfortunately, we talked about this in the Chuck Haggard episode, but unfortunately, a major selling point for women nowadays are those multicolored, usually pink, purple, black, rhinestone-covered keychains. We're trying to be nice here, with like a stun gun, stun gun, pepper spray, a pokey weapon thing.
Pokey stick.
It sometimes has like a fur ball on the keychain. They're marketed.
Those things that look like a cat with the cat ears that you're supposed to
put on your knuckles and fight with. Like you're immediately gonna know how to fight with that the second someone comes to attack you. It's so unfortunate, and as Chuck Haggard put it in the episode, it's offensive by proxy. So.
Because I am offended by proxy.
Yeah.
That people think women would be stupid enough. I was like, praise Chuck.
But they sell, guys. They sell because a lot of those pages use like fear mongering to get people to think about their loved ones. Like, wouldn't you want your loved one to have this if someone attacked them? And you're kind of like, yeah, I would. And they're usually really cheap because they're cheap. So if you are wanting to invest in a high quality self-defense tool, maybe you don't have the financial means, the knowledge base, or even your partner isn't ready to own a firearm, POM, Palm Pepper Spray, we don't make anything from saying that. I don't have a code with them or anything. I've been trying to get them to do, I've been trying to get them to work with She Shield and have like our own little pepper spray. So I've just yet to hear back. I gotta keep reaching out. I don't think they were at SHOT Show either. I was gonna like go to their booth and propose it, but I didn't see them on the guide. But anyway, all that to say, I would love to work with Palm, but I don't, and I still carry Palm. I still buy it for my family every single Christmas. I get them a new unit because they've either lost it or it's expired. So all that to say, Palm pepper spray is a great option. If you're considering stun guns or tasers, I highly recommend you either go check out the episode with Chuck Haggard or with Craig Douglas. Those topics are discussed at length by those men that have personal hand experience, personal experiences with those particular brands and testing those civilian units themselves. That's not something that I really need to speak on other than the fact that I don't generally recommend them from what these men have said about them. These men whose opinions I trust very much.
I would like to offer my non-professional opinion on cheap stun guns. I used to have one before I was
Yeah, I mean, we all do.
I feel like we all used to have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before I carried a firearm, I was a waitress. And for fun one day, one of my coworkers was like, hey, can you tase me with that in the parking lot? I want to see how it feels. I was like, sure. Zapped him with it. Nothing. He was like, ouch. I was like, a little sting maybe. And I was like, no way. Tase me. I guess stun gun me. It's not really a taser, but anyway, you get the point.
Right.
Hits me with it. I was like, wow. And to think I've been relying on this thing as the thing that is going to protect me if something terrible is going to happen. If someone is motivated and committed to harming you, they've got adrenaline, maybe they're on some sort of drug or chemical substance. Their, like, sensation and ability to feel pain is already really diminished. And if you think that a little is gonna stop them from coming at you, it's probably not the case.
Absolutely.
So, that's my 2 cents.
Well, that is personal experience I don't even have. I mean, I have a taser unit that I've shot into a target before. I made a little promo video for them back in the day when I just started my page and they sent me a gun and I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then I had Craig Douglas on and he kind of opened up my eyes to like whether or not those civilian units are effective. And I was kind of like, huh, and it made me think. And that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to stimulate thought. We are not, I hope that everyone listening is understanding that we are not saying we are experts and all of this. This is just things that we have experienced ourselves, that we have talked to trusted individuals about, and we're here to open up your mind and get you to think a little bit deeper than the marketing ploys that are out there that are getting you to buy your partners these inexpensive and just cheap, just no good tools for safety, and give them that false sense of confidence.
Garbage,
literally. So
garbage, eh?
Moving on to some gear that you can buy. So we went over pistols, we went over palm pepper spray, we went over some taser stun guns in a little bit of detail, but maybe your partner already knows how to shoot. They have a firearm. Maybe they're not, you're not ready to maybe invest in a pistol and you want to get them another piece of gear, or maybe your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, already goes to the range regularly, but you want to get them like a nice piece of equipment to make their range day experience better. We have a list of gear that we recommend for that. So, Lisa, do you want to start us off? I think you wrote it on our document as never too much. What might that be?
So glad you asked. That would be ammunition.
What?
I don't know anyone that has ever said, oh no, my partner bought me so much ammo and I don't know what to do with it all. That's never a problem. The only time in life that you can have too much ammo is if you are on fire or trying to swim, sinking. That's really all I can think. If you're trying to stay afloat or if you are on fire.
Astute.
Otherwise, there's really no time to have too much ammunition. So
absolutely,
obviously buy the correct ammunition for their
And
firearm.
what do you mean by that? Say that you're someone who's listening and you're a super beginner and they want to buy their partner, but they don't even know what the gun is to begin with. Like, what are some steps they can take to find out what to buy?
Wow. That is actually a really great question, because I can't tell you how many times I've had people with really good intentions who accidentally bought 38 special for their partner that has a 380, or bought 40 for someone's 45. It's easier to do than you might think. So first, what I mean by correct is you want to make sure that it is the correct caliber. So there are a few ways that you can check that. Not always just Googling the gun, because say someone has a P365, a SIG P365, well, they make that in a 9mm and a 380. A lot of times different gun models are made in several calibers. So you need to make sure you're looking at the specific caliber. Luckily, it is typically stamped on the gun and on the magazine and on the box of the gun that they have. A lot of times it'll be on the chamber of the firearm. You can find it stamped there. It is almost always stamped on the magazine as well. If you're not sure what the numbers mean, you can look them up. Sometimes it won't say 9mm, but it might say 9x19, which is the measurement of a 9mm bullet. So those mean the same thing. If you're ever like, oh, what is 9x19? You can Google 9x19 and it'll show you that that's 9mm. So make sure you've got, first of all, the correct caliber. And second of all, type of ammunition. So, I mean, your partner might want to have both. You know, we've got our training ammunition, typically ball ammo. It's just your target rounds. They're designed to poke holes in paper. Those are great if your intention is, oh, let's go out and have range days and shoot. Typically a little bit cheaper, but great for training. And then you've got your hollow points. Those are going to be stamped HP usually for hollow point, or JHP, jacketed hollow point, whereas the ball ammunition is going to be stamped FMJ for full metal jacket. But your hollow points, those are not typically going to be what you want to take to the range and practice with. A lot of ranges will let you shoot them there and practice with them, but they're typically a lot more expensive, and they're just designed to be self-defense ammunition. Instead of poking a hole, they're designed to hit and expand, or sometimes there's fragmenting rounds. So if they need more self-defense ammo, make sure you're getting them self-defense ammo. But if you just want to get them lots of rounds for target practice, do it. There's never too much. Never too much.
Absolutely. And typically hollow point rounds are much more expensive. So if you're on a budget and you want to get them just a little bit more literal bang for your buck, get them target rounds. But that also comes down to the brand, the caliber, the availability, all that stuff. And that stuff we are not going to go into today. If you don't know, say that you're kind of between a couple brands, do your research, look at the reviews. Not all ammo, just like any gear, is created equally. So there may be a higher quality brand that's just a little bit more expensive, and it may be worth purchasing that with maybe 20 less rounds in the box, or overall, in order to give them that higher quality ammo. That also depends on what your partner prefers. So if that's something you're just kind of uncomfortable with, ammo is not the only thing you can buy them. Also, do not handle a firearm if you do not know how to handle a firearm, and you might just straight up ask your partner what caliber their gun takes at that point, if that is something you really want to get them, because we are not condoning unsafe handling.
Or take a bunch of pictures of it.
Yes, take pictures of it.
Show it to the person at the gun store and be like, look it.
Yes, and
this
just
is what they
ask them at the gun store. Exactly. And they should understand everyone starts somewhere. So if you are not wanting to go into the ammo thing, there are some other pieces of gear you can buy. Anytime someone shoots, they wear ear protection and eye protection. And I know that when I started out on the range, what?
I was just going to say, you said everyone when they shoot wears ear
I'm sorry.
protection, eye protection.
Ideally, usually it's required, Lisa.
I can't tell you the number of people that come on the range that are like, I don't need ear protection. I'm like, yes,
Shiza.
you do.
Yeah.
For the love of...
All right, buddy. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead, man. You're over here like trying not to get the range sued.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, please.
Yeah.
For just do it. Just wear eye and ear protection.
100%.
And not just any eye and ear protection. Don't wear your cheap, like, I don't even know. I had someone wear like these blue light glasses from Target or something, you know, just like a cheap glasses. And they actually had, thankfully it didn't go in their eye, but they had a fragment hit their glasses and their like lens just cracked and almost shattered. Get ballistic rated glasses.
Absolutely.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
And that a perfect segue into this topic because not everyone has that and knows that they need it. So how cool would you be if you were like, hey, babe, I got you these ballistic rated glasses because you wear your Ray-Ban aviators to the range like Sofia used to, and you could use some actual shooting glasses. There are a large variety of them online. I know that Walkers makes some really incredible ones. They are very affordable, especially with the code we have for you guys today. So check the link in bio. She Shield 10, She Shield Pod, something like that should get you 10% off, but go check it out in the show notes to see that code exactly. But they make a large variety of both tinted lenses as well as clear for indoor ranges. There are nicer ones. I know that I love my Magpuls. Those are like my go-to sunglasses. I just happened to grab some when I was at BTO last time at their range. Hunter's HD Gold is like the gold standard. I've been noticing
naming all my brands.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just sitting here nodding along. I can't tell you how many pairs of Walker's glasses I've owned, not because they're terrible and fall apart, just because I love them and you can never have too many pairs. I have seriously, I have a pair of Walker's glasses in every color tint. I have Magpul ones as well that I love, and then I have, I think now 3 pairs of Hunter's HD Golds. I've got the rose ones, not the rose, ruby. Sorry. Hunter's HD Gold rubies, the red lenses, and then also the traditional gold lenses. And they are absolutely phenomenal, especially for competitive shooting. If maybe we're into competition shooting, those are like amazing.
Yes.
Especially what I love about the rubies is that I shoot or compete with a red dot optic typically. And also USPSA fault lines are usually red. So the ruby glasses just make those fault lines and the dot on your optic pop. So
amazing.
Love them so much. And I know that I'm not going to get a hole poked in my eye because they're ballistic rated.
Yes. Exactly. And thank you for going into that because that I'm a little bit unfamiliar with. So I'm going to leave that to you. But I know, I mean, I don't have a pair yet. I've actually I wore one at Industry Day. Someone loaned me a pair. So they were great for that. So that covers iPro unless you have any other brands. I think you own a pair of Pit Vipers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I own a pair of Pit Vipers.
Do you like them for shooting?
Those are my official Instagram instructor shooting glasses.
Okay.
If I'm feeling extra, like, spunky at a match, if you will, I'll definitely throw on the pitties for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need an extra little bit of flair.
I mean, they look amazing on you, so.
And, oh, thank you. They're pink zebra print, actually, so they're pretty out there. They are very, like, dark, the ones I have, so I typically will only wear them if it's, like, really, really sunny out. I tried to wear them at an indoor match once, and I literally could not see because it was already so dim in there. Yeah. But, if you want to be super cool, you can throw on some pitties.
Absolutely.
Can't hurt.
If your partner's more like on the fashionable, almost like non-minimalist side, those would be a really good gift. There's definitely a range.
Yeah, shameless plug on that. Was not even a shameless plug. I don't work with Hunter's HD Golds. But shameless plug for them. Hunter's HD Gold does this really cool thing where you can get custom shooting glasses. So say you send in, like, say maybe someone really likes these specific type frame glasses, like you mentioned aviators earlier, or maybe they really like a rectangle frame, or like I don't know, whatever kind of frame glasses you really like, you can send Hunter's HD Gold your frames of any frames of glasses that you like, and they will put in their lenses. So
that's awesome.
That is a really cool option that they have. I've seen so many competitors with just like super cool. I've seen like heart-shaped lenses, Hunter's HD gold glasses. Like people just kind of go wild with it and creative and really let their style through. So that's also another awesome option.
That's awesome because I'm an aviator fan. Like I've just always owned aviators, so I'll have to look into getting a pair. And you know, if Caleb's listening, you might want to write that down, which he will be because he's our
write it down on the running note.
Technician, engineer. Yes, absolutely. So next on the list of gear, we just went over eye pro. So naturally, ear pro is next, and this one I'm very passionate about because I love my Walkers, silencers, 2.0s. Let me just grab them. So ear pro ranges from your earplugs to, which put an asterisk on that, to some over the ear protection. These are the probably lowest cost options of ear pro over the ears. These are the Walkers razors. And by lowest cost, I mean for Walkers electronic earmuffs. These are their like lowest cost ones. These paired with this.
I love them.
Yes. These paired together are what I wear indoors. I'm about to upgrade my over the ears and do a full YouTube review on Ear Pro soon. So keep a lookout for that. But this has been my go-to. These are about $50. So if your partner is rocking those like really classic earmuffs that do not have the electronic capabilities, meaning you can communicate on the range and it actually takes out the sound of the gunshots, then this would be a great gift. They're like $50. You can get them in their favorite color, and I promise you they will be happy with these. Just remind them that if they're shooting indoors, they may want to add some foamies inside.
And on that note, not all of the Razor or Walker razors, but some of them have Bluetooth capabilities as well, which are really awesome. I know the Walker Razor Slims that I have Bluetooth connectivity, so I can hook them up to my phone so I can listen to pump up music at my matches or at the range, and I can listen to my music, and at the same time, it is electronically reducing the decibel levels of the shooting that is going on around you. So not only can I have conversations with people, I can listen to my music and protect my hearing. Win, win, win. And on the note of listening to music, Sophia, why do I need ear protection? I've got these AirPods, and my AirPods, they have noise canceling capabilities. Can I just wear my AirPods to the range?
Yes, you can. No, I'm just kidding. No, absolutely not. If you are someone who likes the look of the AirPods, though, Walker's silencers are my absolute favorite. And that's because I haven't tried the Defenders, I think is what they're called. That's the newer one. I'm also going to do a review on those soon. But these Walker silencers are the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my God. So the foamies, they're super dirty right now. I hate to admit that, but the foamies, you kind of squish and then put into your ear and you hold for like 15 seconds and let it totally expand inside of your ear canal. And then all you have to do is press on the outside of the earphones, and they are touch sensitive. They turn on, they link with your phone, they are Bluetooth, they are incredible. I've had to take calls on the range before for work, and I've been able to talk to work, and then I've been able to hang up and go back to training. Of course, I did it in a safe area. I let my instructor know I needed to take a call. There was safety involved, obviously, but these are one of my top recommendations for earplugs. These run about $250 last I checked, and we do have a discount for these, so that with the discount will obviously be less, but this would be a solid gift for Valentine's Day and any day.
I would love those.
Right?
So,
Absolutely.
I would love just about everything that we've talked about today. I guess
right?
That's kind of the whole point of this
Exactly.
episode.
Like, we would love them ourselves. I know that if Caleb rocked up with that, I'd be super happy. Are there any more ear pros that you recommend? My pack timer just went off. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Did you hear my pack timer?
No.
It just went off. Yeah. Sorry.
It's funny.
That hurt, honestly.
I'm trying to remember what exact model they are. I had some Axles, AXIL, in-ear ear pro. They're the Axel Ghost somethings, maybe?
Do you like
I
them?
really liked those.
I've heard mixed things about them.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So I really liked them, personally. But the reason that I got them, because they are also pricier. I don't know exactly. They're in the hundreds, you know. My boss, old boss at the range in Jackson, Tennessee, Chip Holland, if you ever need a good instructor and you want to go local in West Tennessee, head on over to the range and visit Mr. Chip Holland, great instructor. Anyway, he got these Ear Pro, and he did not like them because he felt that he couldn't get a good fit in his ear canal.
Mm-hmm.
Just couldn't. Tried all the tips. Didn't know what was wrong. I don't know. Didn't like them. Didn't feel like he got good sound reduction. So he was like, here, you try them. I tried them. Felt like they sealed great. Like, could hear nothing when they were off, but would turn them on and, you know, could hear what I was supposed to hear, but also gunshots were muffled. So personally, they worked really well for me. Really enjoyed them. The only reason I don't still use them is because I lost them and I don't know where they are.
That's fair. That's a fair reason to stop using them.
Sad day.
Some people
sad day.
Like cannot make earphones work for them. I know my husband has a big issue with that. So he gets them custom made for his ears a lot and he has to like really search for the right one. So if that's something your partner struggles with, maybe don't make that the gift. There are so many other gifts. And speaking of, one that we didn't discuss before, but I want to throw out there is a range bag. I don't know about you guys, but when I first started at the range, I was just using a backpack, and that's totally fine. Don't get me wrong. And I kind of thought, like, at the time I was a student, I couldn't really spend the money on like a specific bag for the range, but I luckily began a partnership with GPS. We actually also have a code with them today, and I have never wanted to use a different bag. They are sturdy. They have specific compartments for range accessories for your ear pro, eye pro, target, stapler, everything you would need in a range bag.
Your tactical stapler.
Exactly, your tactical stapler. And also, I find it almost safer to have a range bag. I'm not trying to make a selling point by saying this because you should do what you want to do. But when you have one bag that is committed to your range equipment, you don't run the risk of putting things that don't belong in your backpack and then going through TSA and losing a $50 SIG mag that is full of ammo.
Yeah, ask me how I know.
Yeah.
You've done it too.
Yeah,
I have
called
done
you
it
right after, and I was like, ew, I can't believe I just lost all that. Because they looked at me like, you effing idiot. You know not to pack a mag.
And I have done it too, and I lost not one, not two, but three $50 SIG mags at TSA. Because I did not, I didn't have a dedicated range bag at the time. And they were in my backpack. Cheap backpack got a hole in the lining. Mag slipped through the hole in the lining, so it looked like my backpack was empty, but really it was not. I couldn't find them when I searched through my bag, but TSA sure found them when I went through TSA with 3 mags.
3?
And, it was not 3. Yeah.
3, I'm so sorry.
3 of them. 3 of them. It was terrible.
Dang.
And they wouldn't let me keep them. I was like, can I call someone and have them pick them up? I mean, that's expensive. They were like, no, they confiscated them. It was really sad. And it looks kind of sketchy too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I had a accidental hole in the lining of my bag that my mags, I mean, it really looked like I was smuggling mags. Like, I was not on purpose. I have also just had, stray bullets.
Oh yeah.
In my bags before, like in the lining, Like, you
Yes,
need
I
a
do.
dedicated range bag. I now have one backpack that I fly with, and it is my absolute, like, no gun gear touches this backpack. Because too many times I have found a bullet or a mag or had my stuff swabbed for explosive residue.
Yes.
You know, like, all the things.
Right.
So, preach.
Yes.
Get a range bag.
Get a range bag. If your partner doesn't have one, make that the gift. They range anywhere from $50 to $300, depending on the size, the brand. You get a discount code GPS located in the show notes, so head over there. I have 2 bags of theirs. I have their medium range bag that's kind of like a messenger style gym looking bag, and then I have their like large, tall backpack, and I love both. They are essentials for me for the range, and also for USPSA competition when I need to walk from stage to stage. It makes a huge difference. Kind of moving on, Lisa.
Also, just
yes.
a man tip. If you're at a competition with your girl, carry her bag for her. You know?
Yeah.
That's another free gift that you can give.
Free.
Just be a good dude.
Gratis.
Carry her range bag for her. Load her mags for her. Just be a good dude.
Take
you know?
off tasks on her list. Absolutely. Unless she is one of those women that just doesn't like you to do stuff for her. But there's this saying, right? They're the women that don't want anything done for them. And then there are the women that know that they can do it themselves, but allow their partner to help them. And here's the deal. You do you, babies. We aren't telling anyone to do anything different than what they're doing. It makes them happy. But I used to be super like, I'm going to get my own door, like screw 'em in kind of thing. And then I got to a place where I was like, you know what? I can get my own door, but I just love when my partner gets my door for me. And that's what matters to me. And I'm going to let that happen. So anyway, I love that range tip, Lisa.
I totally agree. As a fiercely independent woman,
Yes.
like, there is still something just so hot about a man that will do things for you.
100%.
And it's like, you know you can do them yourself, but
Well, we don't want to.
right, exactly.
Especially those
like,
uber independent women, like.
That's how you know it's real.
Exactly.
If she let you do things for her.
Exactly.
That's how you know.
So there are some range gear ideas. In addition, there are some more niche gifts like a pack timer. That's a really great brand for a shot timer you can gift your partner. You can gift them a live fire subscription to the app if you want to learn from instructors like Mike Seeklander, Langdon Tactical. You can gift them the gift of a premium membership, $9.99 a month, $120 a year, guys. That's $120 for limitless training, unlimited training, compared to maybe a $500 one-day course you might get to attend in the year.
Like Netflix, but for gun training.
Exactly.
I mean, please.
Exactly. The guys like to
What's
say
better
it's like
than that?
masterclass plus Instagram plus not Patreon. Yeah, Patreon and Peloton. That's the other one. Had a baby.
Just
had just this big. Yes.
Just had a love child. Just all of them. Just.
Exactly. Yes, that's another place to purchase courses. And Mike Seeklander, another great instructor you can get training from. Ernest Langdon Tactical. Incredible instructors to add to that list. Are there any other pieces of gear that you want to recommend, Lisa, before we get into what not to buy your partner? We didn't talk about gift cards, which gift cards are great.
We didn't talk about. I was gonna say we didn't talk about holsters, but
yeah, holsters are tricky.
Holsters are tricky. They're tricky.
So personal.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, we were thinking. You know, because we talked a little bit about guns. And letting someone pick out a gun that they like. It's almost the same thing with holsters. Unless you know for sure, like, the specific exact type of holster that she's looking for and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times it's good to kind of let her figure that out for herself, kind of where we're gonna try to carry, what kind of holster we need to facilitate that process safely. So gift cards can be really great for that.
Absolutely.
So that they can be applied towards, I know, people always say, don't get people a gift card. It's not a personal enough gift, blah, blah, blah. But if your intention is to get a gift card for these sort of things so that they can actually pick out the product for themselves that they will actually use and will be good for them, it's a good option. I know, like, just for an example of holster, those big, like, sidecar holsters, which are fine. And a lot of men, like, very successfully carry with those every day. You know, you've got the big, thick Kydex holster and mag carrier connected right next to each other. And, like, I've carried with those too. They're great, whatever. A lot of women have too petite of a frame. Is that your timer?
Yeah,
again?
that was my pack timer again. Sorry.
Plug for the pack timer.
Right?
A lot of women's frame are a bit too petite to effectively carry with such a holster contraption. And you might be like, wow, this holster is super great and safe and amazing, and it's the best thing ever. I want my partner to be able to carry with also the best thing ever holster. Let me get them one. And they put on, and it absolutely does not fit their body the way it needs to, and it's not comfortable for them. There's just so many factors that can go into it. So what works for you might not work for somebody else. And in that case, a gift card is great to pick out holsters. I know you probably have some favorite holster brands that you recommend. I love TXC holsters and Filster. Those are my two. Like, I get them all the time. Those are like the ones that I carry with every day. I switch between those two. So those are mine. I don't know about you. Everyone's got their preferences.
Absolutely. Just to name a few, Filster Enigma is incredible. Standard Co. USA, Tier 1 concealment for outside waistband, upper hand holsters is one of my favorites. All that to say, you can also make it a personalized experience by writing a card and saying, hey, I know you just got a new gun, or I got you this gun, or you've been wanting a holster. This is a really great brand, and I thought we could sit down together and order it. It's already paid for through this gift card. Love you. Like, that would be an incredible way to make that experience more personalized instead of just handing them a card with some money on it. Because it can feel like it's not personal. But let's kind of pivot now. We have a short list, but it is an important list of what not to buy your partner. We're going to do one that's unrelated to self-defense, and then we're going to move on. And this is, of course, subjective. Everything you're hearing today besides gun safety is subjective. So just take it for what it is.
We love to give you our opinion, you know?
Exactly. And that brings us to heart-shaped jewelry.
Heart-shaped jewelry.
Let's talk about it.
Heart-shaped jewelry.
Let's talk about it.
Unless your girl has specifically told you that she loves heart-shaped jewelry and wants to wear it, many men get stuck in the trap of, oh, look, it's cute and Valentine's and hearty. Let me buy her this heart-shaped jewelry. It's so cute and Valentine's Day. And I'm just going to tell you straight up. And it's not all women. We don't speak for all women, you know. We just speak for some, ourselves and anyone else who agrees.
And a few other million.
To wear heart-shaped jewelry. It can be a little bit tacky, me as I'm wearing a heart-shaped ring. But this is cute and dainty. We're talking cute. Like the big necklaces that are like the...
Yes.
You know?
And even some of the more popular ones, like the K Jewelers, like half heart ones. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Big heart-shaped stone.
Yes. And the best way to get your woman's jewelry or man's jewelry taste is to look at the jewelry that they wear the most. I wear these hoops.
If you bought me
every day.
Men, do you think I should be bought silver jewelry?
Exactly.
Some people can do both, okay? But let me tell you.
I have both on.
A lot of times women either wear gold or they wear silver. Sometimes they mix metals, you know, but for the most part, people have like a preference.
Yes.
I wear gold jewelry.
She only wears gold. Take notes,
if I was
man.
purchased silver jewelry, I would be grateful for the thought of purchasing jewelry, but a part of me would go, do you even notice me at all?
Right. It's almost
what I like and wearing.
Exactly. It's like, imagine if you're listening, guy, and you're like, well, we sound ungrateful. Think about this. If you never in your life wear V-neck shirts and your girl buys you a 10-pack of V-necks and you're like, what the hell? Right? Like, you're like, thank God I have new shirts. It's, they're clean. They're new. How nice. I'll wear these to bed or something. But like, there's gotta be part of you that's like, I'm not a V-neck person. Like, I only wear button downs. I only wear collared shirts. I only wear crew necks.
Like you're a Vans guy and they get you Converse
something
or
like that. It's like it's
you're a boxer person. They get you tidy whities. Like it's just
exactly like like I know when I asked my sisters to be my maid of honors and matrons of honor because that was how I asked them. One of them is married, one's not. I got one of them this like really artsy pair clay almost earrings. She's artsy. She's an opera singer. She loves that shit. My other sister, I literally got her like hoops because I know that's what she'll wear. I know that's what she likes. And it shows that I know them individually. So look at what your partner is already wearing. If your male partner is wearing leather bracelets and they prefer that texture on their wrists as opposed to like metals and I don't know, what am I trying to say, jewels, consider that. I promise you the thought that you put into it in addition to that gift will be the difference. It'll make a huge difference. But moving on, more specifically, to what gun gear, what safety gear not to buy. We kind of touched on tasers and stun guns, but Lisa, what else is there?
I'm just gonna go out and say it because this is like my biggest pet peeve in the world. Please don't buy her a sticky holster. If you love her, don't buy her a sticky holster. You might go to the gun store and you might ask, hi, I have really great intentions and I love this person with my whole heart, and for Valentine's Day, I want to get them a holster for their gun. And the gun store person might say, this sticky holster is amazing. It's versatile and you can stick it anywhere and it's super comfortable.
Yeah, you can.
You might be like, wow, perfect. I'll take it. Don't do it.
Right.
Just don't.
And that brings us back. Like, whenever you ask someone for advice, including us right now, we are coming at you, they're coming at you with their toolkit, and they only have what is in their toolkit to help you out. So if all they know is sticky holster, maybe they don't know anything and they're like, they know that sticky holsters are pretty much universal. They may just say that out of like desperation. We are a little bit more informed and we have had personal negative experiences with them. We prefer Kydex holsters that are shaped to the exact gun you have. So that is kind of what we're saying. It's okay to take people's advice with a grain of salt, including ours. Just know they're coming at you with their toolkit. And not everyone knows that their tools are limited and that they don't have everything in that toolkit. So that is why we are sharing that today. If you're a fan of sticky holsters and it works for you, totally
more power to
Gucci. We're not recommending it, but that's where that line is. We're not going to tell you, like, we're just not going to that's your life. It's your life. So
it's that like emoji with the blind person.
Yes, like... exactly. Like, yes, exactly. So another thing that the last thing I think we have on this list right here is buying someone a gun. And we kind of addressed this in the beginning, but this is a really good way to kind of close this discussion out. Buying someone a gun, and we wrote that you think is like super cool for you. So unless she also thinks it's like super cool for her and she shot it and she likes it, let us not make that decision for our partners. Lisa, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, if you think, oh, this is super rad, I should get it for her. Or if you think, oh, this is super cute and girly, I should get it for her. And we're talking about a firearm. Let's just make sure that she tries it first too. And also thinks it's super rad. And also that it's good quality. And yeah, that's that.
Exactly. And that is a good way to round this discussion out. I want to say one more disclaimer, just to be safe. We are speaking from our experiences. We are speaking from our preferences. If you got your chick a heart-shaped necklace, give it to her. It's fine. She
I know
may
people
freaking
that love
it.
heart-shaped jewelry.
Yes, and honestly,
I do.
Caleb got me this one year that I just loved because it opened up into this little quote, and it was so cute. And
Heart lockets are like adorable.
Like, that was really sweet, and I could tell he was so excited to give it to me. Like, I loved it, and that does not mean that, like, and I've told him since, like, hey, heart-shaped jewelry isn't my thing, and he's like, cool, got it, totally fine. But, like, it's okay. And it does not mean, like, if you've already got it going, just give it to her with confidence. Like, maybe ask her and be like, is this something you would want again?
These women on this podcast said that women hate heart-shaped jewelry. Is that true?
And she might be like, those bitches are wild and they don't know what they're talking about.
We'll be like,
and that's fine. And it's cool, man. Because it's our preference. But I've just talked to a lot of women who, like, outside of Lisa, sorry, Lisa, to cheat on you.
To other women.
Yeah, I was about to say. Don't be mad. That
clutches her cactus.
Literally been staring at it this whole time. It is so effing pretty. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is what Lisa got me. How am I going to top this?
It's not as pretty as you are.
It's gorgeous. Thank you so much. And it came with a little pipette. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? It came with a little pipette to feed it. There it is.
To feed it.
Boop. So excited about this. So anyway, all of that to say, friends, we hope you guys have an incredible Valentine's Day.
Main takeaways from this video.
Main takeaways, yes. Hit us up.
Listen to your partner and pay attention to them. Don't do stupid things. And invest in things that are actually helpful and functional to help keep them safe. Because we know when you love somebody, all you want to do, pretty much mostly above everything else, is protect them and make sure that they stay safe. And that is what our goal is here.
Exactly. And we are... I know I'm going to speak for Lisa. Lisa, you can speak for me. You are someone who shows so much gratitude in life when people are just kind to you and are respectful to you, and you don't count the love of someone for how much they buy you or how expensive something was. I know that about you. And that is why we say today, this is not to say we are not grateful for everything else, but hopefully if you're listening and you needed some, I don't know why I feel the need to give such disclaimers. I guess I'm afraid someone will.
Because people get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, people get their feelings hurt, and it's like, that's why I like to set my intentions. Like, this is to help people who feel like they need some guidance. This is to
Because as women in the industry, how many times have you gotten a question of what should I buy my girl for this or that? All the time.
This is to answer those people who ask me those questions. And I know we're speaking to men a lot, and that's just because we're women that, you know, are interested in the opposite sex. So that's really easy for us to talk about here.
Men have asked us, what should I buy my woman? You know?
Exactly.
So that's kind of, we're speaking from that experience that has happened a lot.
A lot of this does also apply to women that want to get their men gifts. So hopefully this has helped both parties. And we're so glad we can come on this podcast together because we really are best friends. We talk literally 24/7. Just ask my husband, and who's there for a lot of the conversations. And we unfortunately don't get to see each other this Valentine's Day. So this was a very special episode to be able to talk to you all about some of our personal experiences. Fear not, Lisa will be back for more. We have some fun episode topics coming up. And if you guys liked this episode topic, give us some feedback, because we may just have to start planning stuff like this for what to get your partner on their birthday, what to get your partner for Christmas, and of course make those unique to those holidays. But Thank you guys so much for listening. Lisa, is there anything you want to send everyone off with?
Thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing Valentine's Day. Be sure to tell the people in your life, not to get all sappy, but tell the people in your life that you love them.
Yes.
You know, life is short. Life is precious. Every day is a blessing. And tell your people that you love them and spread the love this Valentine's holiday.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Lisa, for coming on. And last little thing, thank you for making all of the incredible content on She Shield podcast. If you guys have not noticed, because I've not made a post yet, I had it prepared and I never posted it because I am behind on life. Lisa is the content creator for She Shield. She also manages a lot of the messages, comments, things like that. So she is doing all of that magic work to bring the attention that this podcast deserves to social media. So please go follow us there. See these episode highlights at She Shield Pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. For this full video, you can go to YouTube. I keep forgetting to say this. We are now releasing full videos on YouTube. So you can see this entire episode with us making googly eyes at each other the whole time to my Valentine on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. Before we go, some notes from the end of show notes as I go over to them. To get exclusive video content and a sticker thank you note, you can become a Patreon linked in the show notes, which are the notes below the title, along with all the other resources from this video. If you like the podcast, you can help so much by liking, subscribing, and leaving a review this Valentine's Day. Show us a little love. And if you or anyone you know is a firearms owner experiencing a crisis, look into holdmyguns.org. They are an organization that will connect you with a local gun shop or FFL to store your firearm for you. The link to access their website and to find a storage location partner is available in the show notes. In the meantime, stay safe
and stay vigilant.
Ayo! Happy Valentine's Day, guys.